And welcome back to the Zolteus Gaming Channel. I am your host, Zolteus. Here with a new update to Empire of Sin, Loan Sharks and Economy. So, this is a few days late. I apologize. I've been out with sickness for the past several days. I normally stream Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I didn't get a chance to do either. It's sidelined me pretty good. But we're back here with this development diary, Loan Sharks and Economy. So this is going to be a part of the Make It Count DLC, just around the corner. But they're going to highlight a few new things and a few updates in this dev diary. And we're going to go over that. But the big things, of course, as it says here in the title, Loan Sharks and Economy. Let's hit loan sharking first. So, loan sharking. Alcohol is still the well-oiled machine. It's going to be. That's how we have made our money for quite a while now in Empire of Sin. As a matter of fact, Empire of Sin is almost a year old here, coming up in just 2 short months. But as it shows you right here, alcohol. Alcohol has always been the big money maker. And it will continue to do so. This isn't going to change. However, one of the things that they are highlighting in this DLC, new source of income, is loan sharking. Alcohol is still in, but loan sharking's the new money. It's going to be a big deal in this one, and the reason I say that is because it's going to be such a different way to get money. It takes a particular type of gangster, so there's new requirements for this. One of the big ones is you have to have someone that knows how to do it. Now, whether or not that's a henchman, which I believe it is because it does say Black Book, or a boss. As you can see, newest boss, Maxim Zelnick, too, can do this. However, it does say that he is going to be a boss first. So maybe that means you get some added benefits from having him as a boss with a racket of loan sharking. So you need a fixer in your crew to open a loan shark racket. It does not say that you can only have one with just one fixer. I would hope that is the case. We will find out when the DLC does come out. But if you have to have one fixer per one loan shark racket, that's going to be very difficult. The other thing is you can only have one loan shark racket per precinct. And there it is. I can see the benefit and the cons of this, but you also have to say, all right, so if this makes me a bunch of money, why can't I open up more than one per precinct? So what do you think loan sharking does to an area? It probably draws the undesirables. It probably draws a lot of police influence. They probably made the one per precinct limit specifically because you would find out very quickly if you had like 3 or 4 of them in a precinct how horrible that neighborhood would get. So I understand it completely. The amount that it takes to open up a loan shark racket, like it says here, requires an initial investment. It all depends on a couple of things. One of the big things that it depends on is the size of a racket that you're taking over. And of course, it also says here, and the size of your bank account. But a small racket costs you around 5, but a large one will cost you 25. Now, it does say it will take time to make that money back, but once you've made your initial investment, it's just pure profit from there. So do what you think you need to do with a loan sharking racket. Whether or not you want to make it a small one to start or a large one to start or end, depends on how much money you got, right? Well, do what you will with it. They have 3 upgrades for the precinct overview. The first one is Deflect. It works exactly as you think it would with all of the other rackets. keeps the cops from looking too closely. You have security, which, just like all of the other rackets, you keep your loan sharks well guarded with security. You beef up security just like you would with all the other rackets. But the difference here is accountancy. So accountancy is just a unique upgrade that increases the earnings of your loan shark racket and shows you how to cook the books. So literally, this is the accountancy is a one-stop shop of here's how to increase your money made with your racket. And you know, that's good, right? It's making it a little bit more simplified. I don't think any of the other rackets should go this way. I think there should be kind of like an air of balance with the other rackets, especially since that's going to be your primary source of income or draw. But yeah, I see. There shouldn't be a draw for loan racketing, right? It should just be people come to you when they need money, and you're the kind of the underbelly of any network, any neighborhood, any business. So yeah, I think that works very well. Additionally, with loan sharking, there are events, just like you would find throughout the game. You'll get these events, but these are events specific to loan sharking. So as you can see, it will have a little pop-up, and you will get 3 options. The 3 options will be demand money, so get all of the money back from what you lent. There will be get some of the money, a partial payment, give me some, give me the rest later. You're getting kind of a break. And then there's give me more time, which the story that they give you, all right, I believe you, go on your merry way, but you now only have this much more time to get me my money then. Cool, right? Now, one thing that you will want to take into account is this could have negative effects on honor rating based on what you choose. Maybe not necessarily negative. If you give extra time, I'm sure that will probably have a positive, effect on your honor rating. But if you need money like right now, yeah, demand payment. If you don't need money right now, you might want to consider the partial payment or the extra time depending on the debtor. It's up to you. Run your empire how you're going to. Just letting you know that this will happen, and this will probably affect your honor rating. If you're going for a higher honor rating, you may forego a little cash to give them more time to either maintain or boost, depending on the situation. Also, you have a dependent 4th option based on the debtor. So they may present you with an extra option to choose in place of a payment. So that can come in many different ways. It really depends on what you're doing and who you are loan sharking to. If you have someone who has influence in the city, whatever, that's something to consider. All right, next we have economy. So there are a few new things with the economy. This is only updates. There's nothing new that they have specifically gone out of their way to change in the economy. However, with new rackets, with a new racket and a new henchman coming up, they decided to change a few things. And in this case, they updated the neighborhood Overwatch screen. So now you get many different things from this. You get to see all the precincts, as you can see right here. All of the precincts are represented. You get how all the other gangs are doing and how much you make from each precinct. As you can see, net income, gross income, so on and so forth right here. The other thing you get to see is you get to see racket synergies. If you hover over them, it will show you, what the synergies are, how they're affecting that particular neighborhood, those kind of things. So a lot of updates to the UI when looking at a neighborhood overview, and that's pretty awesome because you had to go to so many different screens in order to get all of the information that it's showing you right here. So I think that's great. There's also something called the precinct overview. The precinct overview allows you to manage all of the rackets and their upgrades in that precinct at a precinct-wide level. So this offers something that's a lot more efficient in trying to determine what's going on in your precinct. It also shows all available buildings for purchase and the cost potential of what each racket would be. The next thing that it can do is it can track police activity in your area, and it can track what your customer activity is. Additionally, it'll tell you how much money you're earning in the precinct. We kind of expected that, but the ability to track police and customer activity and what's going on, I'm really looking forward to that, because I really want to see just how you track that activity, because the police activity was such a unknown factor when the game first came out, and even in subsequent updates. It was still one of those things where you were just like, all right, so I know the police are wandering around. I don't know if they're specifically targeting my places until they actually target them. So I'm glad that they're making this a part of the precinct overview, and I really hope that it's more interactive. And that will definitely be something that I want to engage with, and I really hope that they take some feedback on this, because I desperately want this to be a good update to the precinct overview specifically, but to the game, because there were so many ways you could have interacted with the police that they just didn't explore, and I'm very curious to see how this update allows that interaction to take place. The other thing is, it's kind of a intangible, but when you own a precinct, you have the option to open an improvement building. So I use quotations for improvement building because it gives you a bonus of some kind. You get to determine the direction of that bonus, but these are non-physical buildings. They provide bonuses to specific parts of your precinct. For the example they give here is, for instance, opening a boxing club will buff the security on the rackets in your precinct, whereas a mob lawyer can influence the police activity number. So I guess depending on how your precinct is moving, what the direction it's going, you may determine what kind of intangible bonus you want for your precinct. So kind of up to you on that area. The other thing they updated was customer interaction. So as we know, customers were also one of those kind of elusive factors that we really couldn't measure. In this case, they've put a bit more, this plus this plus this gives you this as far as customers go. So now the number of rackets and upgrades will directly affect customer numbers. So in this, it has the effect that you think it might. So each precinct has a small number of customers. Building rackets in a precinct means that more customers will become available. However, if a precinct gets too crowded and there are too many options available, customer growth will be slow. So it's as you expect it would happen. So not only do you want variety, but you also want better upgrades and you want less police involvement. So there's gonna be a balance that you have to maintain, and I definitely can appreciate that. So like we've said, police presence will affect customer numbers. The other thing that you want to take into account is, as it says here, swankier places. So you want to have the better upgrades, but you also want to have the better quality alcohol. So those are things that you have to take into account as you're upgrading, as you're expanding. Variety, quality, consider those things. And then we also have to consider the previous portion of the update, loan sharks. So loan sharks can lower your customer growth. Obviously, it's put in there to be a good source of revenue, but people who are struggling to repay are not likely to spend cash in the pubs. So this is going to be a balancing act. You have to consider what a loan shark racket will do to a precinct, and understand that it very easily could affect your customer numbers, how many people frequent them to actually pay for the good swill that your alcohols and breweries will produce. Some things to consider there. So that is the Loan Sharks and Economies update for the Make It Count DLC. That's going to do it for this episode. Like and subscribe for more content. And as always, I will see you in the next video.